What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another Bless Unleashed video. I'm your boy No Deflection, and today we are going to be going over experience levels and what you can do to increase that level of yours and get to the top 45 level, doing whatever you can in the most non-conventional, I guess you could say, way. So let's just jump right into it. So first things first, I want to put a little statement out there saying that if you're not doing your regionals and weeklies, what are you doing? This is something you should be doing every single day. As far as the regionals are concerned, you should be doing those every day. The weeklies, obviously, you got Cyclops, Spider Queen, Harpy Queen, all those guys. Obviously, they're once a week. We understand that. But your dailies, that's your bread and butter. You can get massive XP doing these. So make sure you're doing those every day. Now, if you've done all those and you're running out of things to do, I'm going to give you a couple of areas where you can mob grind, as well as gain quite a few of items and some extra experience along the way. So first we have here obviously is Karzakor. You can obviously pull these mushrooms as much as you want. My suggestion would be to skip these guys and go right back to this back area I'm going to show you. Probably a better spot. This is where you're going to find basically the bandits that hang out back here. So you're going to find these guys, as you can see here. You're going to run around, grab as many as you can, and just take care of them. This is a pretty good mob grinding spot for new level people. People say that the turtles just south of Karzakor is a better spot. They do give a little more XP, but here you can see there's just so many more guys, and they auto aggro to the character, so it's much easier to mob grind here. Not only that, you're going to get a lot of Karzakor map fragments, which sell, and if you're trying to get that mount out of the Karzakor treasure chest, all the better. So this is a great spot for your first area to mob grind if you've already done all your weeklies and you've done your daily quests. Do not forget that. That is your bread and butter. Now, note that when you're using experience, plus 50% experience gains, the scrolls, note that when you do the weeklies and the regionals, that does not increase the regional and weeklies experience gain. You will get double experience or whatever for that specific boss, but not for the quest itself. Just remember that. Use your scrolls for mob grinding. Save your scrolls for all the mob grinding you can do. This will help a lot. So right there's your first spot. Now we're going to go to our second location, which we're going to go down to the crocodiles, as you'll see here, just south of Navarra, the Crocodile Lake, basically. Once my cursor figures out where it wants to go. All right, so we're going to go to Rothclaw Village. You're going to come down here. You're going to go to the crocodiles. Now, I know this might sound like a dumb spot to be grinding, but the Crocodile Lake is a great spot because it's right in that spot where you're roughly between 17 and 19, and you're missing those 2 or 3 levels to get to where you need to do the stuff in Tristeza. People say the snakes are a good spot to farm. In my opinion, it's a terrible spot just because there's so many people running through there all the time that the mobs are being dragged in other directions. It's impossible to get what you want. In my opinion, the Crocodile Lake is much easier because you don't normally have people just running through here willy-nilly. It's a much better spot to mob grind, in my opinion. So same thing here. Mob grind your way through it. Use your XP, scrolls, whatever you got to do after you do your dailies. Remember, dailies give you 230,000, between 230,000 and like 300,000 experience just for doing a simple quest. From killing, the little rock guys to killing, a shield maiden, whatever it takes. So just remember that. Mob grind only if it's your last option. So right there, as you can see, crocodiles down. Great gains. You get some awesome items here that you can use to sell, to throw into the fire for some extra cores. It's a great way to keep things rolling as you run out of quests to do. So our next spot, obviously we're skipping the anacondas. We do not need them. We're going to go into Tristeza, and we're going to go to the Rift. Obviously, this is probably the #1 spot everybody knows. The Rift has been there forever. Everyone uses it. Everyone says that this is the best place to get your B grade gear and all that stuff. It can be, sure, if you're spending hours there and you have a good group of 5 people that are constantly pulling in the mobs and you're DPSing them down real quick, it's great, but it's mindless. If you're okay with mindless, bashing in these guys' skulls, by all means go for it. But I'm just going to keep reiterating this. Do your dailies. Then you won't need to mob grind. So down here, we're going to grab all the mutated mutants. We're going to grab the deer. We're going to grab everything you possibly can. Pull them into one little area. Same thing. Just grab as many guys as you can and just kill them. This is probably the first spot that most people end up mob grinding for a little while, just because there are so many guys in this area, and they do tend to drop better stuff if you're at a proper level. So it's a good spot in general, but with a good group, you can do a lot more damage. Like I've seen people where they've grabbed almost every mob and have brought them into the center, and then you've got, you know, the Zerkers and the Satyrs who can stun them, and then you just meteor them, and it's a fantastic way to wipe the whole crew. It's really, really nice to do if you have a good crew doing it. You could solo, as you can see here, I'm doing it. I know I'm a higher level, but really you don't need to be a crazy high level to, you know, poke, poke, dodge. So just use that to your advantage. All right, and then the next spot we're going to be going to is one of my favorites actually, is going to be the plants down in Zancala. So you're going to go there to that telepost, and you're going to travel south of the telepost, go all the way down, and we're going to find some plants that we're going to hang out with. Okay, so now once you're done in this area, obviously there's going to be roughly 2 good spots to pull mobs here. You're on this first section, which I'll show, which you'll grab about 7 to 8 guys, depending on if they're all spawned in and they're in a good spot. So that's your first little mob grind spot, and then as you go past here, you're going to see we can get in between, I would say, in between 8 and 13 mobs here, which is a great spot to mob grind, in my opinion. Also, I believe some quests pop down here eventually, like the regionals and stuff, so you can knock them out at the same time. They ask you to kill the plants or kill disciples of evil or something like that, so it's a good spot to grind in general. These guys do drop quite a bit of potions, which is great. Potions, and I want to say they drop quite a bit of armor sigils as well, so it's a good spot to grind in general. This is hands down my favorite spot to grind. Now with the level adjusting creatures, I just come down here every once in a while, just hang out, especially when I'm doing something mindless. So same thing, I'm going to pull a bunch in, probably not, that's actually a very small bunch to be pulling in, but it is what it is. It's about, you know, seven guys, maybe 5 to 7 guys. So same thing, just do what you can, poke, dodge, poke, dodge. Don't go, you know, don't need to go crazy. This guy was actually glitched out for some reason. I'm not sure what was going on with him. All right. So next spot we have is going to be up at probably one of the most popular spots to mob grind, especially when the Salamander event was happening. We're going to go up into Badan. I'm going to go to the Castle Crasher location. If you're familiar with that area, it's right there. So you're going to be using this telepost here. You're going to drop in, and we're going to travel north and east to get to the Castle Crasher location. I would say this is probably one of the most frequented mob grinding spots, just because it's a good spot to mob grind, obviously, and then there's a fire really close by, so you can just take all your equipment that you're getting, that you're gaining from these guys, and you can take them over to the fire, and you can throw them into the fire for some cores. It's really quick, it's really easy. The fire's also there. If you die, you can spawn there real quick. Just make sure you hit the fire before you go up here. So I'm going to show you here now. This is probably, you can probably get a good, probably 12 to 16 guys in one little group, and for some great mob grinding. It's right there, just come out of nowhere. It's a fantastic spot to mob grind. So go in and do your worst, you know, knock these guys out. You're gonna have 2 sides. You got the south and north side. This is obviously being the south side. So just take these guys out, and then you'll see once I DPS these guys down, I'm gonna run over and grab everybody on the north side as well. All right, so after Castle Crashers, you're gonna go up north, and this is kind of up in the air as far as a grinding spot, just because it's so tough for people sometimes. So the wolves up here at this location can be a great mob grinding spot, but because the wolves attack so quickly, they can really do a lot of damage. I've seen a lot of people die up here. Not only that, I've seen a lot of people PvP in this area when the wolves are attacking, because obviously the wolves attack so quickly. It's easy for somebody to lose a lot of HP real quick, and it's easy for someone just to be in the corner up here behind the trees just poking you. I've had that happen before, where I'd come through here just for the quest in general. I'd be attacking the wolves, and they would assume that, oh, there's a Zerker attacking 12 wolves at a time. Let's poke him in the back while he's doing it, see if we get an easy kill. I've gotten a couple kills here from people trying to PvP me, and I've also been killed very easily here. So just be wary of that. This is a little up in the air. I wouldn't necessarily say this is the best mob grinding spot for this area, but as you can see, you can get a lot of wolves in one little section. I use it all the time, but use it at your discretion. Okay, so that's the wolf grinding spot. Alright, and last but not least, we're going to be going to the most prolific mob grinding spot in the game, which is going to be hellhounds. Over in Eidolon Forest, so right in that location, that's where you're going to want to go. This is the end game mob grind spot. This is where a lot of people go when they're trying to get Eidolon Forest treasure map fragments. The Eidolon Forest treasure map fragments can be extremely lucrative. If you were specifically, I'm talking Luminos since that's the server I play on. If you're playing on that server, guys pick these up for between 12 and 20k starseed. So if you're up here mob grinding, you can come out with, if you're doing this, let's say for 2 hours, you can come out with a good 6, 7, maybe even 10 treasure map fragments sometimes. I've come out of here, I think we did a mob grind day for 4 hours, and I came out with about 12 map fragments, which is pretty good. Obviously, that's a really good success rate. Normally, map fragments drop, they're very rare to say the least, but when they do drop, they're great. Like I said, I think I definitely sold mine. I probably made like 300,000 starseed off selling them all. So it's a great spot to make some money. So as you can see here, you can pull all these hellhounds. You have 2 locations. You've got the lower area, which is what we're doing now. You can pull about 12 to 15 of these guys. As you can see here, maybe even more. I can't even count them up right now. Looks to be about 12 to 15 guys. These guys hit extremely hard, but their attacks are very slow, which makes them a great mob grinding spot. Now, if you're up here and you see other people mob grinding this, don't just jump in with them. Great if you want to ask them to party up with them, that's all fine and good. But if you see somebody mob grinding here, expect to be PvP'd by these people. This is normally their spot. I suggest going to a different channel, and obviously now with the channels being less, it is much harder to get a good spot up here. I know it's a pain in the butt. So my suggestion is either party up or just, ask if you could take over for a little while. Try to be nice about it, because I'm telling you right now, I've seen a lot of clan wars happen up here with people who tried to just mob grind in the same spot somebody else is mob grinding. It's like any other MMO. You're trying to keep your stake on your land. So this is the north side. You can grab probably about the same amount. I would say a good 15 of these guys. Same things, you want to farm the north and south side basically here. It's great mob grinding. Like I said, the Eidolon Forest treasure map fragments are fantastic. These guys often drop great potions as well, so it's a fantastic mob grinding spot. So this is the end all be all best mob grinding spot in the game in my opinion. And there you guys have it. Those are the best mob grinding spots in Bless Unleashed. If you appreciated the content, hit that like button. And if you want to see some future content, hit that subscribe button. It always helps. And once again, guys, thanks for watching and have a good one.